Well, myself and Patsy are here on this very rainy Sunday afternoon, and I just made this. I'll talk about this later on in the video towards the end, and yeah, there's my wee girl. Well, this is very interesting. Just talking about weeds, because a lot of people say to me, Colette, how do you keep all those weeds down? And do you do all the work yourself? Yes, I do all the work myself. And no, I am not going to be filming myself working. I think that's just a little bit too weird, really. People saying, can I see you working? Bit voyeuristic, I think. Anyway, it would actually take me far too long because, like, what do you want me to show you? 1 minute of me working? 2 minutes of me working? 3? Half an hour? An hour? Okay, you get my drift. Anyway, weeds. Now, what do you see here? What do you see here? Let's do a little bit of close-up. Camellia mollis, or lady's mantle. It loves to spread. It's a beautifully invasive plant, and I'm going to show you lots of examples of it all around the cottage. That is my biggest worker. It suppresses the weeds because where it grows, the shade is so dense that it casts that weeds just can't get through. Oh, of course, I'm just talking common sense again, aren't I? Oh, the camera's shaking because I'm laughing. I've got to stop. Okay, some more of the lady's mantle and how it manages to suppress the weeds. As you can see, it's taken over this area here, and it's lined itself up with some creeping jenny, which was just back there, and it has crept out and just made this area its own. And as a consequence, I don't have to worry about weeding, not that I would anyway. And this is also a little parking space or reversing space, so just going over it in the car seems to keep it fairly well contained. This is another one. Self-heal. Well, I just loosely call it self-heal because it does belong to the self-heal family. All right, so yeah, let me just take a wee close-up of this. Now, Ajuga. It comes up with the most beautiful purple flowers that are beloved and suppresses the weeds. And can you see the lovely little border it develops? Because where you walk, it's not going to grow, and so it comes right up to where your footsteps would be traced. There's a wee birdie down there. There's a wee birdie down there. There's a wee baby one. Yeah. And another one. Well, I haven't actually deadheaded those flower stalks, but I will soon. London Pride. It takes up residence and excludes all weeds. Now this is like it's a bit like a fountain kind of overflowing. Look, it's come out of that stone bed where the cotoneaster is and come down and just flood it out across the gravel. More lady's mantle and heather. The heather, of course, likes acidic soil, and that's round the rhododendron. Now, all this lady's mantle has spread on its own. I haven't planted it there, but look what a pretty picture it makes in front of the pot. There's been so much rain over recent days that the spring well is just pumping out water. So you can see how the level in the pond has risen. And if I take the camera around and show you where it flows off into the little stream underneath this stepping stone here, you can hear the sheer volume of the water. So moving things around a little bit, realigning the energy paths and creating visually, because that's how we see it, a little bit of magic. Yeah, I think that's just the perfect spot for the bird bath. I've moved the chair and the Country Living magazines. I've put a little plant in its place. That's a pot that I have to move, that lovely blue one. I'm going to be replanting that. And it's all beautifully serene. Yeah, serene. I think that's the appropriate word at the moment. What do you think? Well, it's hard to believe that this is actually 21st. The 21st of July, and I have lit the stove. Mind you, I had to heat the water up. So, what am I doing? Well, I'm sat here knitting. It's got very long, I know. So I'm sat here knitting and I'm watching some Midsummer Murders, and yeah, Sunday afternoon, lazy Sunday afternoon. Do you know that was one of the first records I ever bought? Lazy Sunday by the Faces. Now they were called the Small Faces, and wait for it, something probably most of you don't know, Rod Stewart was the lead singer. And then he left the band to go solo, and the Faces continued. And one of my favourite songs from them was Itchy Coo Park. Itchy Coo Park. Yeah. Loved it. It was the soundtrack to my teenage years growing up. It was wonderful. Anyway, I got something stuck in my lip. That's it. So yeah, oh, something I want to show you. Okay, this. All right, now I'll undo it, and then you can see. You know, well, you might not know, but with me, I love scarves because I get a bit kind of cold around the neck. As a child, it was always my ear, nose and throat that was the problem, and I had my tonsils taken out when I was 9 and, you know, stuff like that. Always ear infections and styes in my eyes. Well, mind you, I was one of 11 children brought up in a lot of poverty, so that kind of went hand in hand with the poverty. But never mind. Hey, it's made me the woman I am today. So, the scarves that you buy, I mean, you can search for ages for a scarf that suits your complexion, suits your hair colour, suits your kind of clothes that you wear, you know, your outfits. So this is what I do. Rather than just buy a scarf, I go down to the fabric shop. Now, we've got a fantastic fabric shop in Sligo, and I choose a fabric. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? You can see it's in a scarf shape. And I ask for a square. So if it's like, you know, 1.5 meters wide, then you buy 1.5 meters and you've got a square, and then you just fold it over. And in this case, I'm just going to do this now. I'm going to wrap it. Okay. So I'm just kind of folding it like that, all right? And then I put it around like that. Bring it round. Okay. Now you can leave it like that. You can tie it there if you want to secure it. Little tie. Then push that round like that. And hey ho, look! You have a completely unique, this is unique, okay? Not even the Hollywood stars would have one of these, like this, in this pattern, in this colour. So, that's what you do. So, and that way as well, when you get fed up with it being a scarf, you've got material that you can work with. I mean, I can use this as a little tablecloth, or I can, you know, use it to put inserts into clothes or whatever. It's very, very versatile, and it means that you're not just buying something that's in season, but you're buying actual fabric, actual textile, you know, something that you can work with, you can do lots of things with. Okay. So that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say that. And then also, there's a lot of anxiety around at the moment. And I'm aware of this. And I've thought about it. And for me, it's because we are actually living through history, which is on a speed dial at the moment. Things are happening so fast. There's this huge amount of change going on. And I have spoken about this before when I was talking about the age of Aquarius, the precession of the equinox, the way things are moving. So you've got the age of Pisces, the age of Aquarius, going like that. There's a lot of planetary movement. I mean, at the moment, I think this weekend, I think it was earlier today, or could be happening quite soon, I think about 4 o'clock maybe, I'm not too sure. You have a full moon in, I think it's a full moon in Cap. Let me just check this out because I did write it down. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. So a full moon in Capricorn. Oh, it was 11 a.m. this morning. And a lot of endings, a lot of very intense endings and world changes. And the full moon is also conjunct with Pluto. So, hey, there's just crazy things happening. It's a crazy world that we're living in. It's really... It's really disturbing living through history like this, because for most of my life, things happened and then there was a rolling movement forward, something else happened. Everything seemed to be part of something better in the main. But with the times that we're living in now, things are absolutely chaotic. Nothing is as it seems. Those in power cannot, and I stress this, cannot be trusted. I've said this a lot, but I'm really underscoring this now. They cannot be trusted. Political leaders have doubled back on their words. Please don't mention political leaders in the comments below. I'm not interested in, you know, this one, that one, or the other one. For me, they're all exactly the same. Enough said. Anyway, I thought I mentioned this. I also wanted to say, hey, look, my grey is growing out. Isn't that lovely? And I'm getting these kind of like streaks of white coming through. Can you see? So I'm going to book an appointment with my hairdresser this week. I say my hairdresser. I've only used him once. But he's jolly good. So I'm going to book an appointment with him just to have some of this orangey bit cut out, because that was where I lifted, you know, the old colour out of my hair. But I am liking this new colour coming through. I am liking it. This is how the cottage looked in 2004 when I first purchased the cottage and 3 acres. It is all north facing and wasn't a very good prospect in terms of gardening, but you can see how the transformation of planting trees and nurturing the land and working with Mother Earth has been, quite frankly, amazing. It is a joy to live within this woodland now. This is from the road looking up in 2004 and now looking up. You cannot see the cottage from the road, but you do get a beautiful view of the driveway and from the top looking down. And this was the view from the actual door of the cottage in 2004. And now, of course, it's completely surrounded by the most beautiful deciduous woodland, filled with birdsong and life. And the earth itself has been restored, because what was quite a barren landscape is now beautifully abundant. Blessings to you all, my dear friends, and have a lovely weekend. And the link to all my books you'll find below this video and every other one. Blessings. I know this looks a little bit unreal, but this is my driveway at, I think it's 9:30. I'm just returning from my son's house because I've been minding his cat. Beautiful cat. Well, I can't have her up at the cottage because of Patsy being a little rascal. So this is my driveway at night. Rather magical, isn't it? Of course, it's been bucketing down with rain. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Excuse the wobbles. There we go.